Hello, this is Pastor Stan Lubeck. This is workshop number 13, when your group is too big. So, as your group begins to grow, people begin to join. What happens when your group gets so large that it becomes too difficult to keep track of everybody and people start to feel neglected? I once had a group of 30 people and they loved being together. When I talked to them about multiplying to make more room for new people, they wouldn't have it. They didn't like what I was saying. They pretty much ignored me. They were all friends and they loved their group. They took the attitude often found in closed groups, quote, us four, no more, shut the door, close quote. They were more than four, but you get the message. I remind people, aren't you glad someone made room for you? So finally, a few months later, they saw that the group had become unwieldy and they began to be willing to multiply into 3 groups. Then a few months later, we had a backyard party, a reunion of those 3 groups, and there were about 60 people there. We celebrated that the 3 groups were all doing well, though certainly people miss seeing one another every week. They made room for others to join the groups. At the backyard reunion, I asked people to raise their hands if they were not part of the original group, and about 20 people raised their hands. Of course, I took the opportunity to comment, aren't you glad that the original group was selfless enough to make room for you by multiplying into 3 groups? You see, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to realize that that day was a great day of celebration and a reminder of what we're really about, helping others connect with Jesus and grow in the faith. It is not about us having a holy huddle of friends that we hang out with every week. So what tips can I give you to multiply the blessing when your group gets too large? In the New Testament, they met in large group settings in the temple courts and they met house to house. But we don't really have any way of knowing how many people were meeting in those homes. First of all, there are things that you can do to make a larger group feel smaller. If you have 20 people in your group, each individual will only be able to talk for about 3 minutes if the group meets for an hour. There's always that dominator person in the group who talks too much and takes the time away from the quiet ones, so they might not even get their 3 minutes. But if you break the group into smaller groups of 5 for discussion, this gives everyone 4 times the amount of time to talk. This is called subgrouping. So plan to put each subgroup in different areas of the house for discussion. You choose someone to lead the discussion in each group and someone to record what is discussed to report back when you regroup with the whole group. This is helpful because you are giving these discussion leaders an opportunity to facilitate the discussion and develop the skills necessary to one day become a leader. You can also have people pray together in these smaller settings so that everyone gets to pray more than they would if they were in the larger group praying around the circle. Now, the biggest step that a group can take that is also a big step in the mission of Jesus is for the group to multiply into 2 groups. Half of the group would stay together and the other half would step out to start a new group. I think the experienced leader should be the one to step out in starting a new group, while the new leader is better able to take over the existing group. This is a big step of faith for sure, but when you have a reunion like I spoke about earlier, and see the faces of those who are now connected because of your selflessness, how can you not be blessed? All right, next session, how to multiply your group. Bye for now.